All right, so Alexa's been having a hard time with her AC. Hasn't been putting out the coldest air. And as you guys know, I definitely just published a AC cleaning video. So we're gonna take a look at exactly what's going on with this thing. Now this is a mini split, so the unit is out here, which cools the air. Now, this is a little bit different, but not completely different. This type of unit, actually, the cold side, or sorry, the hot side is outside, and then these tubes lead to the inside where the cold section is. So it's essentially just like your window AC, just split up. There's types of ACs where like this is actually a circle and the air moves through the circle. But this one is essentially an outdoor air filter, which means it pulls air from the back side through to the front. So if we look back here, I don't know if you guys can see it, but look at how dirty that is. My guess is you just need a good cleaning.
I think it's broken.
No. Without further ado, let's get down to the frame. Usually, a system like this will have an exterior box like this, and you pop that open. If I can do it with one hand, it just pulls out like this.
Oh, okay.
Goes like this, stays like that. Now, this unit is interesting. This is, you literally have to pull the fuse. Some will have like a breaker box. This is no more power. So we're gonna leave that there while I try not to hurt my back. Now that there's no power going to the unit, we can take that off and not worry about our hand getting cut off. Yeah, it looks like it's pressed over the top.
I wonder if it's just like a slide in though.
So try to keep track of the screws. I don't know if they're all the same. In order to get this clean, we're gonna be using cleaning foam. Different brand that I used in the last video. It's fine, it does the same thing. Runs you about $6 at Home Depot. It might be running out. I only saw a couple cans of this, so make sure you read the directions before use, but generally, you know, don't get it in your eyes, don't drink it, don't use it as seasoning, and you'll be okay. Get away from me, bug.
This might be too long. Woo! I've literally got one more screw to go.
Okay, guys, look at this side of it. I don't know if you guys can see because of the light, but look at all, there we go, look at all that. That's gonna stop your airflow.
This is longer than my drill.
Real good. So a good cleaning will force all that out and make sure that the air can flow past these fins, allowing for the heat to dissipate from the coils. All right, let's finish getting this thing off. The thing about tools is you only need them when you need them. Yeah. So like, buy all of them and we'll have them.
No, I can see from here. Come on, Bugs, shut the door. I don't have AC in there right now. Don't need to be filled with mosquitoes.
I was gonna say.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna go downstairs.
Okay, bye.
Voila! Alright, I need a vacuum. So what's important is that we vacuum out all the dry stuff. Anything that we can vacuum out, vacuum it out. That way the degreaser actually lands on the stuff that the degreaser needs to work on. And then we'll let it sit for a little bit, and then we'll hit it with the hose and put it back together and have some nice AC. If you want to, you can, if you have access to, you can spray the other side just as a precaution, but basically we're only going to use water from one side. We're only gonna wash this side so we push the dirt out of the system and not through the system. And that will in turn push the degreaser even further through there and clean it out. So some may argue that you want to cover up the electronics. It's not a bad idea. In this instance, we're not going to, simply because there's this nice cover and the majority of the condensers on the other side. So we're really just gonna try to not spray the electronics. But I'm gonna let Alexa do this part, so if she does spray the electronics, it's not my fault. Make sure you follow the grains of the fins. Yeah. Look at all that junk falling down behind. Look at it all on the back wall. Look at how dirty that is.
Oh my god, you can keep those. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Look at all the dirt on the back wall.
Look at all the crap behind on my house that I'm spraying through the air conditioner. Oh, it's so gross. I really didn't think this was that dirty. I was like, you know, I'm gonna let him film all this and it's not even gonna...
Other way, don't spray in.
But I need to get the stuff off.
Well, we can do another layer of degreaser too.
It's just like all this stuff, this pollen stuff, it's just all stuck to it.
Yeah. Since we got like the primary stuff off,
I can't tell, I didn't even look behind this way.
let's take this blade off. You have a 10 mil maybe?
Fans will go the opposite direction. Told you to use a screwdriver. That's why I brought it for you.
Good call. Good call. Other way?
Yeah. Yeah, you got it.
Man. We just did round 1. A lot of dirt came out, but there's still a lot more on the backside, so we're gonna hit it with another round of degreaser and potentially even gently scrub the back with the cap that came with this, which is also a scrubber, and it looks like this. So this thing will be able to get in those fins.
Is that really getting all the way through that? You want to turn back
If it's not coming off just from us spraying the front, we'll definitely spray the back as well. All right, we're gonna let that sit for probably like 10 minutes and really let that degreaser eat away, because this is quite a stubborn one. She was caked on there. It's probably been a few years since this thing's been cleaned. But it's pretty gunky. This top piece will do it. Let's see if I can get this. Yeah, look at that.
Ew.
Get stuck in there. This is definitely the dirtiest AC I've seen.
I don't think it's ever been cleaned. It's not that old, so it's probably never been cleaned.
It has to do with your environment too. You know, you're in a wooded area. All right, that's looking pretty clean. But now that we got it pretty much completely washed, the fins look really good, 10 times better than they were at the beginning. We're actually going to let it dry for a bit because we don't want the fan to kick on and start throwing water everywhere. We could even take a compressor to it. Oh man, sorry you guys are a little dirty, but you could even take a compressor to it if you'd like to really dry it out. But it's always good to let your electronics dry out before you start them, especially when they have their own breaker box and a giant fuse. Another thing you can do is actually clean the fan blade itself. As you can see, there's a little dirt in there. Definitely an okay idea, because if this gets out of balance or it's too heavy, it's not moving as much air as it can be, and it could be unbalanced and lower the life of your motor. So go ahead and clean your fan if you want. And if you thought I was kidding about the balancing, see that little metal thing right there? That little metal thing is actually meant for balancing. I'm pretty sure. Next part's just gonna be assembly, so we're just gonna roll through that with some good music. I'll see you guys on the other side. When you're tightening that, make sure you don't over tighten it, because you'll snap that right off.
Like $80 more.
Yeah.
That is actually pretty fair.
And you can hold it, so you can like...
Good.
I was on something like...
Probably should have moved that. Probably should have, you know, had this shut, but just gonna ram it in there and see what happens.
Hopefully you don't...
Gotta gently place it in there.
Well, that doesn't inspire confidence. Jeez. Oh, it's in there. Whoops. Voila, she's put back together. Okay guys, you've been sitting in the heat for too long.
Yeah.
Are you ready to turn it on? The fan is spinning. It's actually spinning pretty quietly. I like that. That's a good sign. Now, it might actually work a little bit better right now because there's still some water on the fins, which, you know, they actually sell devices to hook up to your condenser that sprays water on it periodically to cool it down. All right, guys, so there's actually another thing that you can do, which is get up in there and clean the fan as well as the any other components that are in there. But right now, that feels cold. Feels real cold. All right, so there's another problem. We were sitting here, I'm like, man, it's really not blowing cold. And then, you know, if you never clean these filters, which are the inside filters, which pull the air through the cold side of the condenser, well, then you're gonna have a problem there. Not enough airflow going through. So we're gonna wash these sweaters off and try to get her going.
You know, now that I actually see this, I did this last year.
Really? Because
No, I really did. The reason I know that is because I had them laid out on the old counter, which was linoleum. And I remember thinking to myself, I couldn't decide if it would take longer to dry like this or like this, and I was like trying to prop it up.
Okay, well, it needed another cleaning. Ask the question again, Bobby.
As someone who doesn't have central air, should I be cleaning my ACs out every 6 months or at the beginning and end of every year?
Excellent question, Bobby. The answer is I don't know, or it depends. Because here's the thing, if your house is really dusty, it's not a very tight house, there's no sort of other filtration systems, I'd say every couple months, right? Or if you have a really brand new house with great filtration, maybe every 6 months. I would argue clean it every season that you use the device. That's my opinion.
Yes, we've been doing a lot of construction. So,
yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
With all the renovations, there's probably been a lot more dust.
For sure, if you're doing renovations, definitely clean it up.
But like cleaning it won't hurt it, so why not do it more?
Yeah, you can do it as much as you'd like. See, this is the second condenser. I know it's a little hard to see. There's a second condenser in there that, you know, it looks pretty clean, but eventually it'll need a service. We're reinstalling these, which just slide up here like so, and then clips in.
I was just offering some. All right, just shut this, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I was like...
All right, guys, so she's blowing cold. Cleaning the filters definitely helped. It was like cutting off before and not continuing to blow cold air, which I guess makes sense because if that condenser gets too cold, I think it would stop working, right? I don't know, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
So everything's cleaned. The outside condenser and the filters on the inside, it's blowing cold air, thankfully. Guys, don't forget to clean your ACs. I can't preach enough about cleaning ACs. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time on Down to the Frame.